Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at our final session of this semester, if you will, the Leadership Lunch Series. So thank you for everyone joining in. And we have something a little bit different. We thought this would be appropriate for this last session. And here's the context I want to give for introduction. Lynn University, as we've talked about, the athletics department is one of the model athletics departments of higher education and one of the most elite athletics departments of higher education. And with that said, we have two Olympians in our history of our 37 or 36 years of being a athletics department. We have two Olympians. One is Melissa Ortiz. She played for the Colombian national soccer team in 2012 and 2016. The other Olympian is Tal Erel, our current baseball student athlete. With not further ado, Tal.
Thank you, Mr. Crosby. I would like to personally thank each and every one of you for taking the time and being here. For the next couple of minutes, I'll be speaking a little bit about my background, where I am today, and what the future holds. I'm not speaking here today to tell you what to do, but to open your eyes and see what's surrounding you. I promise you, by the end of this, everyone will personally relate to this in some sort of way, if not now, in the near future. To begin, my name is Tal Erel on the Lynn baseball team. I am 24 years old, born and raised in Israel for the majority of my life. When I was 6 years old, my family relocated to Aventura through my father's work. In the beginning, first grade, I did not speak English at all in an all-American English-speaking school. Every morning when my parents would drop me off at school, I would cry from the uncertainty and fear. The fear of being in the classroom was so overwhelming, I needed another outlet to allow myself to communicate with something that had no language. That's when I got familiar with baseball. For me, it was a getaway from not speaking English, as I could be myself, as well as yell at everyone in Hebrew. When I was 10 years old, my family moved back to Israel. I told my dad, "It's okay, I'm staying here in Florida. You guys can go back without me. There's no baseball in Israel." And that's when my father found the Israel Association of Baseball. In a small country with only one baseball field, about 800 players over all age groups playing in the country, about 10 baseballs to train with the whole year only for each team. Not much can help a kid in becoming a better player and pursuing his dreams, becoming a collegiate athlete, with these as the only resources we had. But you have to work with what you have and get the most out of it. At the age of 18 in Israel, everyone goes through the military. Men do 3 years and females do 2 years. When it was my day to get drafted, October 29, 2014, I was taking in a bus, curtains shut, driving for hours to an unknown place with a bunch of newly drafted soldiers from cities I've never heard of. Regardless of everyone's background, education, wealth, or position in life, out there we were all equal, dealing with the same struggles. I found myself with these people in the desert with no phone, no family, or a close-by Lululemon store. I was sleeping in a tent with my newly equipped M16, looking up to the desert sky, and questioning how in the world will I continue 3 years of my life like this? And what I do with this weapon I'm stuck with now. It was another stage in my life that brought on such uncertainty. That's when I remembered myself as a kid, crying from the uncertainty of what the future holds, but also remembered 4 years after, I did not want to return back to Israel. In another thought, I told myself that all Israelis go through this. Millions have done it before me, and millions of people will do it after me. That's what kept me going. While serving in the military, I was recognized as an elite athlete, a grant given to 150 soldiers per year out of 200,000 total soldiers to allow them to continue their athletic career and representing the country on the international level while still serving in the military. In the morning, I was a firefighter, but in the afternoon, I was a baseball player, hungry to chase my dreams. During my service, I got special permission to play in Czech Republic League and the following year in the prestige Dutch League. During my first game in the Netherlands, a couple months before heading to the States, I slid to the base and broke my femur. Still lying down on the field before the ambulance came, I was sure this was the end of my career. How can this happen 4 months before I was heading to college to pursue my dream, and now an injury some people don't even recover from? Again, crying from the pain and uncertainty of the future, it was yet another moment of uncertainty that shaped who I am and where I am today. When I landed back in Israel, my mom asked if I prefer staying a year in Israel or still going to the States. That's when I decided I'm giving it all I got. It's now or never. Luckily, I had the best physiotherapist from the military helping me to recover. 10 days after getting released from my service, still on crutches, I flew to pursue my dream. I knew I would face a lot of struggles. Struggling through my first week of school, I looked up in the sky and asked myself, how in the world am I going to get through 4 years of college like this? I need to take 40 different courses, give out lectures, have a language barrier, playing sports, all while watching over my health. My roommate back then said, just wait. College will fly with a blink of an eye, and all I want to do is punch him in the face. But yet again, thinking this is temporary, millions of people around the world have completed their education. Why wouldn't I be able to? Now, as an academic senior, it's my time to tell the freshmen and sophomores on here that college will fly by with a blink of an eye. Being a student athlete, we all face the same struggles, full of uncertainty and fear. This could be on the field, in classes, mentally, back home, or even financially. This is where our resilience forms. This year, some of us will have to make a buzzer shot to win the game, score the winning goal, or driving the winning run. Face a bunch of assignments due all in one day on a topic you have no idea what's it about. This is when, instead of stressing even more again from that uncertainty, we form that comfortable zone in the back of our minds, as millions of people have done it before and millions will do it after us. As much as it is sometimes tough, every minute is 60 seconds when you're facing the toughest day or the best day in your life. But it's how you use that 1 minute, using your resources, remembering how far you've come, and making space for everyone around you that is supporting you and has supported you along the way. Remember, what you're struggling with at the moment, another student athlete struggled with last year, and another one will struggle with in the future. Our 1 minute is 4 years. For freshman year facing the uncertainty of school, to senior year of facing the adult life following school. With COVID-19, schools around the states had a tough decision to make over the summer, either taking the easier path and going online like the top schools in the world, such as Harvard, Princeton, and Georgetown. This move probably saves the university a big chunk of their expenses, as well as not having to deal with the struggles and uncertainty of COVID-19. On the other hand, going against all recommendations and going in class, schools such as Lynn. This move is not just for educational purposes, but is to force building proper connections with one another. Everyone on this call forms the Lynn University Athletics, 374 student athletes, all coming from 39 different countries from all 6 inhabited continents around the world, as well as handpicked 31 staff members, each one on here sharing a special story and language. Some of the international students and some of the local students on here see each other more than they see their own personal family throughout the year. As Dr. Katrina, the Vice President of Academic Affairs, said in Series 2, now is the time to make connections and develop resilience. For us, connections means resources. Only the top businesses in the world have resources from 39 different countries they can count on. We all face struggles, but this is the time to use each other. Some of us are better in sports than others. Some are better students than others. We all take the same courses regardless of the sport we are in. Me personally, I haven't had a class yet that there was another student athlete attending. Reach out and get to know who you have surrounding you, and don't be shy to ask for help. If you get to meet two people from the athletes and staff, it will take you exactly 4 years to meet each other, and you'll even have a month to spare to go to the beach. I want you to look at the Zoom at who is in the square next to you. How much do you know about him or her? Which country is he or she from? What's their next step in life? I promise you, at least one person from this call in a couple of years will be trying to make business somewhere and will use a resource, a connection they have made from their time at Lane Athletics. And think back at this conversation today. In a couple of years, you won't remember how many goals your teammates scored or how many minutes you got to play, but you remember the personalities of your teammates and coaches, as well as who helped you to get through the way. Ed Pasquet, the commissioner of the SSC, mentioned, when you're dealing with failure, keep moving forward. It's how we move forward with each other off the field and on the field. Angie, the deputy athletics director, said, the power lies in the ability to handle stress. All these comments talk about times we struggles, not when we're laid back and everything is going in our favor. When we're down by 2 goals in the game, a couple runs down the ninth, or how we handle an upcoming final. Bubba, the coordinator of athletics operation, mentioned the resources we have on campus, career connections office, building resume. But the biggest resource we have is everyone on this call. We spoke last week about the powerful personal branding tool. This is what this is about. What looks better, a brand already using 39 countries as resources, or a page advertising the same thing and not moving forward because they think they know it all? We're currently branding ourselves, thickening our skin, and developing who we are for the future. In addition, we're not the only ones here developing. As much as you learn from the coaches, they learn about you the same way, your culture, personalities, and how they can become a better coach too. As you see, all this connects and concludes the leadership series. The 9 words Devin Crosby, the athletic director, mentioned all connects to one another to go under and form spirit, service, and strength. Coming back to my story, I've never been the best player on any team I've played on, but the biggest strength I had is my ability to observe. Use the resources I had to tackle whatever challenge I was facing head on the best of my ability. The next upcoming year is a crucial one for me. I'll be competing in the upcoming Olympics. Looking back, all the struggles I faced was just getting me prepared for this once in a lifetime experience. And trust me, I'll be using everyone on you here as my resource is getting there in the best shape I can. It could be on the field, in class, or even in the cafeteria. To conclude, everything passes and ends, just like this conversation we're having here. How many times have you been on a plane and thought, damn, this is taking forever? But looking back, that flight and whole trip has already ended. This too shall pass, as the struggles we face. The way we use everything we have is how we build our resilience and future. And don't forget, whatever you do, millions of people have already done before and struggled through the same thing. Look around, observe, and learn. And don't be shy to ask for help. I wish everyone on here the best of luck, and I'm always here for anyone on here. Thank you.
Tal, thank you. Tal, thank you for your words. That story, your personal story is amazing. And I think it's going to enrich so many people's lives. And I think like all the other 374 of our student athletes have stories as well. But Tal, thank you for sharing yours. And we can't wait till next year or when the Olympics, comes back to see you playing part of that baseball team. So thank you for sharing your story. Um, we're going to, as we close, I just have one final comment. And again, this is our last series that we have. And I'm going to make this final comment, ladies and gentlemen, and then I'm going to remain on the call. And I'll ask all coaches, you guys can leave, staff, you can leave. But if there's a student athlete, after I make this final comment, if there's any question, I want to be able to answer any question. I had a great conversation this morning with your leaders, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, that small group who serve as representatives of the student athletes. And it kind of made me think about maybe answering as many questions as I possibly can. But let me make my final comment, and it kind of goes in alignment with what Tal had to say, is this is what I would ask, is I would ask everybody on this call to dedicate something very generous. And this generosity that I'm going to ask you to think about or consider for yourself, it's actually going to benefit you. And this is what I mean. If everybody on this call, this is student athletes, this is coaches, this is staff, could add value. What I mean by that is add value in every single interaction that you have, every teammate that you talk to, every interaction with a family member, every interaction maybe with another student athlete or whoever it might be. But if you can add value in that interaction, and what do I mean by value is how can I help? It's a position of how can I help and how can I add value in every single interaction? Now you might be thinking, well, Devin, how does that benefit me? Here's how it benefits you. When you're looking to add value in every interaction, you're becoming to a mindset of service. And that's the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why we did this entire series, is we have spirit, service, and strength. And service is in the middle for a reason, because that's our core. But ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm here to tell you. Service, yes, cleaning up the beach and volunteering, those are really nice things, and keep doing those things. But true service is a condition of the heart. That's what true service is. It's a position of adding value. How can I be of service? And when you put that position of service at the core of your heart, what that does, that takes the hyper focus of the difficulties of your life, and it has them not go away, Life's not going to be easy, but what it does, it adds a new perspective. Because when you try to help other people, your family members, your teammates, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it might be, it takes the perspective off your difficulties. And also, the last thing that's most important, every single interaction you have, you're helping make this world a better place, person by person. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We enjoyed spending this time. Have a safe Friday.